Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our Committee of Adjustment meeting for Tuesday, April 15th, 2025. I'll call this meeting to order at 5 o'clock. We have all members present. I'm Member Allen. I'll be chairing this evening's meeting. I'll ask if there's any declaration of pecuniary interest from members. Not seeing anything. Let me know if something does arise. Okay, this public meeting was called to address one minor variance under Section 45(1) of the Planning Act. Our one and only item is application A02-2025, David Chapman's Ice Cream Limited. This public meeting was called under Section 45(1) of the Planning Act, RSO 1990, as amended, with respect to application for a minor variance, file A02-2025, affecting lands owned by David Chapman's Ice Cream Limited. The legal description, firstly, Part Lot 98, Concession 1, SWTSR Glenelg, Part 1, Plan 16R 10940. Secondly, Part Lots 98 and 99, Concession 1, SWTSR Glenelg, Parts 2 to 15 inclusive. Plan 16R 7326, Parts 1 to 4 inclusive. Plan 16R 7902, subject to GS 139834, subject to an easement in gross over parts 1 to 3. Plan 16R 9964, as in GY 40835, Municipality of Grey Highlands. And it has a civic address of 100 Chapman's Crescent. The notice of this public meeting was mailed by standard class mail on the first day of April 2025 to the property owner and to all property owners within 60 meters of the subject property, in addition to all agencies and persons identified in the Planning Act. Under the Planning Act, the applicant, the minister, or a specified person or public body has an ability to appeal the decisions of the Municipality of Grey Highlands to the Ontario Land Tribunal. It is important to note that if you wish to be mailed a copy of the notice of decision and you do not live within 60 meters of the subject property, you must provide your request in writing to the Planning Department of the Municipality of Grey Highlands. The electronic registration for this meeting does not represent your written request. Staff can provide direction to you in applying in writing for a request for notice. At this time, the committee will hear presentations by the applicant or their agent. So is there somebody in attendance wishing to speak on this file?
Yep, thank you, Chair. We have the agent, Ron Davidson, in attendance, who will be speaking on the file.
Good evening, Ron.
Good evening, everyone. So my name is Ron Davidson. I'm a planning consultant, and I'm representing Chapman's Ice Cream. As you're probably aware, they are proposing to expand their existing facility in Markdale. Part of the building will be extended across the municipal boundary between Grey Highlands and West Grey. And this afternoon, we actually had this morning, we had a minor variance application that was similar to this down in Durham for the West Grey portion of the property. So it's a technicality why we're really here tonight. The minor variance is proposing to do two things. One is to reduce the rear yard requirement down to 0 meters and increase the maximum lot coverage from 22.9% to 25%. But we're really not. And here's why. With regard to the rear yard setback of 0 meters, that lot line that we're talking about is actually not a lot line. It is a boundary between the two municipalities. It is one property that straddles the West Grey and Grey Highlands boundary. And Chapman's could not convey, the West Grey portion to a different party without conveying the Grey Highlands portion as well. So it's not a lot line, but it's really a technicality that we're reducing it down to 0 meters because there's no lot line there. But for all intents and purposes, I guess sure it's a lot line, and we do require a variance. And the same thing goes with the lot coverage. Yes, we are increasing the lot coverage to 25%, but that's only as it pertains to the portion of the property that, again, is situated in Grey Highlands. If you take into account the West Grey portion of the property, it's a very, very small percent. So we're not coming anywhere close to 25%. But again, it's a technicality and we have to address it. So that's what it's here for. That's why we're here tonight, to discuss this. Obviously, in my mind, because of what I just said, it is truly a minor thing. Obviously there's lots of merit for it. There may be other issues regarding the building that will be dealt with later on at the site plan stage. The municipality and Chapman's Ice Cream will be required to enter into a site plan agreement, and it'll take into consideration not only the building and parking and everything else, but servicing as well. I'm well aware that there's discussions still to be held with regard to servicing, but that's really not for tonight's meeting. Mr. Chair, that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Okay, I'll go to our planner, and then there could be some questions. So at this time, the municipal planning consultant will advise of any comments received and provide an overview of the recommendations contained in the report. Good evening, Ashley.
Good evening. Thank you, Chair Ellen. Okay, so just to recap, the minor variance applications AO2 2025 submitted by David Chapman's Ice Cream Limited for the property at 100 Chapman Crescent. It's seeking relief from the zoning bylaw to permit an expansion to the existing food processing facility. Specifically, the variances requested are to reduce the rear yard setback, as Mr. Davidson had mentioned, from 0.25 meters to 0 meters, and to increase the maximum lot coverage from 22.9% to 25%. The intent of this public meeting is to establish, and the conversations with the committee, is to establish whether the variance requested are considered minor in nature, meet the general intent and purpose of the official plan and zoning bylaw, and are appropriate for the development of the land. So the report provides greater detail on the consistency of the application against the 4 tests of the minor variance, and Mr. Davidson did a great job in explaining that the fact that this is one property. It's just the idea that it's in 2 different municipal jurisdictions. So there's that need for that variance between the line between the 2 municipalities. The other thing that I wanted to try to highlight here is the importance to consider why there are minimum setbacks and lot coverage requirements in the zoning bylaw. So setbacks are generally established to prevent overcrowding on a property and on adjacent lands by maintaining adequate space for building maintenance and avoiding encroachments onto neighboring properties, where lot coverage is to prevent overdevelopment and ensure that there are an appropriate balance between built and unbuilt areas in a lot. So you think of it from that context and this application specifically, if the whole property were located entirely in Grey Highlands, a minor variance would not be required. So I think that's very important to think or to consider when you're looking at this application. So the professional opinion was that the proposed variance does not conflict with the intent or purpose of the applicable zoning provisions and met the 4 tests of the Planning Act. So there were 2 general comments that were received and are highlighted in the report, one from the building department and the County of Grey. However, there was no issues with the variance going forward. No other comments were received by the agencies and residents that were circulated since that report was written. It is worth noting that there are staffing concerns associated with this extension as a whole, And as Mr. Davidson mentioned, the intent is to deal with these at the next phase of the planning and approval process, which is the site plan control agreement application. So the concerns that were raised lie with the traffic impact and the servicing. So that includes water, sewer, and stormwater management. Studies have been provided by the applicant, but to best assure that the development is occurring appropriately and with limited impact to surrounding properties, staff have recommended that the studies be peer reviewed. So that will happen at the site plan control agreement phase of this project. I also wanted to note that as stipulated in the report, the proposed expansion does go across the municipal boundary into West Grey. And as Mr. Davidson had commented as well, that the minor variance that they had done in West Grey was approved this afternoon. And I did send that notice out to everybody for their information I guess about an hour ago. In conclusion, staff have reviewed the application and are recommending approval as the proposal is considered minor in nature, meets the general intent and purpose of the official plan and zoning bylaw, and is considered appropriate for the development of the lands. That's all I've got.
Okay, thank you. So are there any questions from members for our planning consultant or the applicant's agent? No, looks good. All right, we'll move on. I'll go to the public now. Any person present wishing to object to or support the proposed consent or have any comments or questions, please indicate and state your name and address. And
just point of order, Mr. Chair. Point of order. I think you said consent. I think it's for minor variance, is it not? You said consent.
Yes, sorry. Yeah.
Yes.
Reading my script here. Should have caught that. Yes. Any person present wishing to object to or support the proposed minor variance or have any comments or questions, please indicate, state your name and address. So on a computer, *6 to unmute. You can use the raise hand feature. Anybody wishing to speak on this file? Seeing there's 2 people in attendance, but neither one is indicating they wish to speak. Okay. All right, last chance for members. Any questions, comments? No? Okay.
Sorry,
call-
Chair.
Yes.
We do have a member of the public that is wishing to speak
Okay,
this
they
time, so
did
I'll
raise.
allow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see that now. They just raised their hand. Okay. All right, if you could move them over, please.
Hello, my name is Vanessa. I live at 148 Argyle. I kind of get a little glimpse of what's going on in connection to what's happening in the community. My question is, as a resident of the community, I would like to know if there is any adjustment to private property, kind of.
Any adjustment to private property?
Yeah.
Ashley?
Yes, through you, Chair. No, there is no adjustments occurring to the private properties. It is strictly on the property itself.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm not seeing anybody else from the public wishing to speak. So I'll move to the votes and I'll go across in order I'm seeing people. This is for a minor variance. Member McQueen.
I support.
Okay. And Member Little.
I support the minor variance.
Member Clark.
I support the minor variance.
Member Dubik.
I support the minor variance.
Okay, and myself, Member Allen, I also support the minor variance. So this file has been supported. There's a 20-day appeal period once the decision has been sent out. And if there are no appeals, you can move forward. All right. Thanks, Ron, for attending.
Thanks, folks.
Okay. as there's no further discussion on the proposed application, I am going to. Oh, I do have another item, sorry.
I move to adjourn.
Well, there's other business.
Oh.
And the only thing I was wondering about
Oh.
was the conference in Collingwood. Or yeah, is it actually in Collingwood or the Blue Mountains?
Blue Mountains.
Blue Mountains. So it's coming up in May. It's nice and close for people. We can drive back and forth if people are interested. So, all right.
And I just saw today it was extended, I think, well, I think maybe for the hotels, but we
Yeah.
won't need the hotels, but it's, still available to sign up for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Member Little?
Oh, thank you, Chair. Just wondering about the minutes. Usually we have the minutes on the agenda. Will we see that at the next Committee of Adjustment meeting?
Yeah, I think because this was a special meeting, they'll probably come at our regular meeting scheduled, and that says
Okay.
May 13th. Am I correct in that? Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't included as this was a special meeting, so they will be included along with this meeting minutes as well. So there'll be two at the May 13th meeting to be approved.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else? If
Just questions. Do we have many files for the 13th of May?
let's see if they know. Planner Pasha?
Through Chair Allen, yeah, I believe we have 2 files right now currently slated from my understanding. We'll know more starting Thursday, but one of them is a severance. And then there is an accompanying minor variance with that severance as well.
Okay. All right. So need a motion to adjourn. Member McQueen, Member Dubik, any discussion? All those in favor? And that's carried. Okay, thank you, everybody. Good
I
night.
know. Good night.
Good night. Take care.